This is Conspiracies Unpacked, and my name is Danny Clayton. And right now we are in a global pandemic. And as soon as COVID-19 started spreading, so did the conspiracy theories. One that seems to be popping up a fair bit is Event 201. Event 201 was a real event. It was organised by the Johns Hopkins Centre, and it was to simulate the spread of a pandemic. But this happened just before the real-life pandemic. So conspiracy theorists are asking, is there something fishy going on here? To talk with us about it, we have Dr. Richard Hames. Richard, tell me about this event. It seems a little bit suspicious that we were going through a run-through just before a real-life global pandemic.
Yes, Danny, it can be taken as such. The planning for this particular event started a couple of years previously. That's what it takes. And they're looking at what would need to happen to contain a pandemic. So they're going through various scenarios in order to rehearse what would have to happen to contain it.
When you think about being in the mindset of a conspiracy theorist, and you see an event going through all of the scenarios where a virus was spreading around the world and it ended up becoming quite accurate, is that enough to believe the conspiracy theorists? Or could this just be coincidence?
Absolutely, and especially in the atmosphere, the environment today, where there's been such an erosion of trust between the community and what we're told by scientists and politicians. We're believing less and less what we're being told.
Okay, so the theorists are suggesting that the event, Event 201, was a dress rehearsal for the deliberate infection of the global community with COVID-19. How possible do we think that this virus may have been forced out into the world?
The conspiracy theory is really around the collusion around how the pharmaceutical industry can make more money. There is a big question to be answered there, because only prior to the pandemic, only 3 to 5% of revenues came from vaccines. In fact, most of the revenue from big pharma comes from treating animals and animal diseases. So there is a big question about that, certainly.
Do we think that it'd be likely that companies would be able to hide a secret of this magnitude from the entire world and release a virus?
You have to look at history. I mean, if you look at the big tobacco or the coal and oil companies and the propaganda they've created in the past to defend their activities, then you could say it is possible. Whether it is likely, I'm not at all sure that it's likely, but you can't dismiss it entirely.
All right, let's talk about Bill Gates. Is Bill Gates trying to put a microchip in my brain? Is he making me sick with 5G? I mean, why are these theories seem to be so popular?
I think because everyone is envious of the wealth that these billionaires have. I think he has good intentions, and certainly the possibility of putting microchips in vaccines is just ridiculous. It's silly.
And 5G, is that going to be spreading a virus?
No, 5G you can discount entirely.
Okay. It seems as though the world was planning for a pandemic just before it was struck down with a pandemic. Do we think that there is some sort of conspiracy behind all of this?
We need to be doing more planning because we know that we're going to be beset with more pandemics of this nature. So I would say that we need to do more in order to get the money to fund the research so that we're better prepared.
So you're saying that we don't think that there's conspiracy this time around with Event 201?
No, I don't think it was a conspiracy at all. But you have to realize the fact that fear is in the population, and this is a deadly disease, is driving that kind of conspiracy theory, and it's natural. We want an answer. We want to find solutions that make sense to us, and the truth is not apparent from those we've been told we can trust.
Okay, so do we think that Event 201 was some sort of conspiracy to plan the spread of COVID-19? No, we don't. It's not very plausible. This is Conspiracies Unpacked.